Has your MagicBand Plus just kind of quit on you, seemingly out of nowhere? Like you're gearing up for your next Disney vacation or trip to the parks or wherever it is that you plan on using your MagicBand Plus, and when you go to charge it, nothing happens. It won't take a charge. Well, you're not alone. A lot of people are running into this issue, and I was one of them. I talked about this the other day, right here on the channel. I went over all the details, and we went to go try and find a solution. So I'll link that in the description down below if you're interested. But the whole reason we're sitting down together right now is because in the comment section of that video, I got a lot of people sharing a suggestion, the same suggestion in fact, of what I could do to hopefully solve this problem. And it worked. So I want to share that suggestion with you so that if you're running into the same thing, you don't find yourself in a position where you're not only disappointed, but maybe even buying a new MagicBand Plus because that's what guest relations told you to do. So let's start off by talking about some basic details of what this problem looks like. So your MagicBand Plus is dead. It needs to be charged. So you take it over to the charger, you pop it in, plug it in, and it flashes once, but then it goes radio silent. There's no indication that it's charging, nothing. And maybe you leave it on charge for a while, but still, nothing's happening. Maybe you even plug it into a charger that tells you how much power it's taking, and it's saying that it's not taking any power at all. It's literally not taking a charge. That's what happened to me. And I thought to myself, what you're probably thinking to yourself right now, is my MagicBand just completely dead? Now, what I did, because I live right by Walt Disney World and I was headed to the parks anyway, is I took my MagicBand to guest relations and I wanted to know if they had any resolutions, any suggestions for what I could do in order to solve this problem. It's a good place to go ask these types of questions. And what they told me was that no, there was no way to solve this problem. My MagicBand Plus was in fact dead, and the only thing I could do if I wanted to use any of those MagicBand Plus features was to buy a new one. Now, before we move on, they did reassure me that my MagicBand Plus would still work as a room key if you're using it at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, and it would still work as a park ticket, but it would need to be physically touched to the scanner, very similar to if you're using a key card or a park ticket, or if you're using an older MagicBand. But this is a MagicBand Plus. We bought it for those MagicBand Plus features. So it's kind of disappointing to hear that I was just done with this product after only about 2.5 years. But that cast member, they weren't exactly right when they said that there was nothing that could be done. There is a way to solve this specific problem. And like I said, it was people like you who shared this solution with me, and so I want to pass it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our MagicBand Plus and we're going to plug it in. We're going to put it on the charger and we're going to let it sit. And when I say we need to let it sit, I mean we need to let it sit for a long time, like several hours. It's not going to look like anything's happening. After it blinks that first time, it's going to stay dark. But leave it on charge, let it sit there, and wait. Eventually, it will start to charge. It'll start blinking, indicating that it's charging, and then it will fully charge and you'll be good to go. No need to buy a new MagicBand Plus. Now, if you're going to go this route, you're going to try to save your MagicBand Plus. There are a few things that you need to know in order to make this work. The first is that you're going to want to make sure that this isn't plugged into any type of smart charger. You know, the kind that isn't going to send any power. It's not going to keep charging if the device isn't taking it. So you're going to want to plug this into a standard outlet. Now, the next thing to keep in mind is that when I say that you need to leave this on charge for several hours before you start to see any blinking or indicating that it is charging, I mean a really long time. Now, unfortunately, I didn't time how long it took for this to get to the point where it would start blinking, indicating that it was charging again. But I can give you some estimates. And in the first round, when I first plugged this in and discovered this problem to begin with, it was on charge for 2 to 3 hours. And then the second time, when I started testing this theory, it was another like 3 to 4. And that's to get it to the point where it would start blinking, showing that it had no charge and needed to be charged, and then it took however many hours before it got to the point where it was fully charged. So when I say several hours, I'm not kidding. Now eventually, this MagicBand Plus, the MagicBand Plus in question that we talked about the other day, it eventually took a charge. and now it's fully charged and ready to take to the parks again. And the same is true for this other MagicBand, the significantly newer MagicBand that I mentioned in our follow-up, where I told you that this wasn't just happening to one band, it was happening to 2 of my bands. So that's great. That's great news. And because this not only worked for me, but so many of the people who shared this recommendation in the first place, I'm hoping that sharing it with you means that this is going to solve your problem. Also, I want to take a second to say a huge thank you to each and every person who shared this recommendation when we first talked about this issue. You know, our whole goal here is trying to help you guys out, trying to answer questions for you so you don't have to waste your time with that when you're here on vacation, because time is precious and we don't always have a ton of it when we're on vacation. And you know, while going straight to the source, going right to Disney, right to guest relations to try and resolve an issue or answer a question is usually the way to go, sometimes it's not, and this was one of those times. Like I mentioned before, the guest relations cast member simply said that I was out of luck, and the only solution was to buy a new MagicBand Plus, and I've heard from some of you that that's the answer you were given as well. And that's really too bad, because there is a solution out there. And that solution, it's thanks to some of you. So I'm hoping that taking the time to share that solution with others gets the word out, and we can help a lot more people, maybe avoid some unnecessary stress and spending for those people. But look, here's the thing. If you ran into an issue with your MagicBand Plus and you tried this and it solved your problem, do me a favor and pop a thank you in the comments down below. Let them know that you appreciate them taking the time to share that suggestion with me so that I could share it with you. But all right, I think that about says everything that we need to say. I really hope that this solves your problem, and I hope that you have a fantastic trip to wherever it is that you plan on using your MagicBand Plus next. Until next time, guys. Bye.